Happy
monstering!
monstering! And welcome to another episode of My Singing Monsters Live, your one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. We are your hosts, Monster Hat.
And Monster Handler Eric. Thank you for joining me again here, Monster Handler Matt.
Hello,
Work from home
Monster
edition
Handler Eric.
My Singing Monsters Live.
Yes,
we've got a lot to talk about.
Another work from home edition. But you know what? I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you're having a lot of fun. And it's so great that we're able to continue doing this through the marvels of modern technology here in the human world. But we're not here to talk about the human world. We're here to talk about the monster world and all the things that there are to do with the monster world. But before we launch into all of those salient details, we want to talk to you about the giveaway. Every single episode of My Singing Monsters Live, we do a giveaway, and this episode number 77, if I'm not mistaken, is no different. Monster Handler Eric, would you like to explain to the kind people at home or wherever it is that they're tuning in from, just how they might enter the giveaway?
Well, sure. From my home to yours, let me tell you about the giveaway. The giveaway is a prize that we reward at the end of the episode. And how do you become eligible, you might ask? All you have to do is type !giveaway. I almost went with the old method. !giveaway in the chat. You will be entered automatically. At the end of the episode, we will announce one name. If that is your name, please comment on this stream your username. No, not username. Whew, I'm all over the place on this one today. My head it threw me off. If your name is announced at the end of the episode, please comment your BBB ID /friend code. And
there you go.
Will get you your prize, which is a secret.
That's right. It's a secret every time, but maybe over the course of the episode, you might get some hints, some clues about what you might be winning today as part of the giveaway. So make sure you put that !giveaway in the chat on YouTube, and then you'll be automatically entered. Okay, some exciting news that we got this week and that we'd love to share with you is that My Singing Monsters was nominated in the 24th annual Webby Awards. Oh, and we're so honored. We're so pleased at this recognition. We're up against several other excellent games with equally great music and sound design, which is the category that we've been nominated in. And there's a People's Choice aspect of it. So we invite you, the My Singing Monsters community, if you feel that My Singing Monsters is meritorious of the 24th Annual Webby Award for People's Choice mode of Best Music / Sound Design, please vote at the link that Monster Handler Sydney is going to be throwing into the chat. You can also visit our social media pages on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram to vote. The links are there as well, and we really appreciate it. You can vote right up until May 7th, and we would really appreciate your support, your patronage at this time.
Oh, what a nice feather in our cap that would be.
It would be a lovely thing, and you know, Eric, and this reminds me of all the way back during Anniversary Month when Team Air didn't win. Well, neither did Team Earth, but it's not about who wins.
I feel like we all won.
We all won. That's right. We were all on Team My Singing Monsters at the end of the day, or Sydney's secret Team Psychic. Everyone say hi to Sydney, by the way. Hi, Sydney. Sydney is diligently in the chat. Monster Handler Michael is effortlessly, flawlessly operating our camera situation and our streaming situation. Okay, so that's the Webbies. Now, let's take a look back in time. Today, the first day of May, so you will probably be unsurprised to learn that on this day in monster history, a celestial monster made its appearance in Dawn of Fire for the very first time. But which monster was that? Well, if you know your monster astrology / astronomy, you'll know that it was the Syncopite in 2017 that debuted in My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire on this day on Starhenge with the crystalline crop constellation. More on that later. Let's fast forward to today and what's going on in My Singing Monsters. Ooh, we've got a lovely breeding bonanza promotion that is running this weekend. That is to say 500% increased breeding chances for single element ethereals. That's Gas, that's Grumpire, that's Rebro, that's Geode, that's Humbug. And not only that, in keeping with the crystalline nature of May and of this month, we've also got 50% off the crystal elemental Geode on Water Island. There's no better time to grab a Geode than now when it's 50% off. In addition to that, you can get up to 40% off featured diamond packs in the market. I believe the steepest discount is applied to the cart of diamonds. So make sure to check that out. A perfectly priced pack if you're looking to pick up that geode for 500 diamonds this weekend. In addition, in My Singing Monsters, we've got the Lucky Star promotion that happens every month, and that's 20% off that featured Celestial on Celestial Island. And this month, of course, no surprises there. It is 20% off the Dormant Syncopite monster, the Celestial of Crystal. Moving over to Dawn of Fire, we've got 50% off the Young and Adult Roototoot monster, a lovely monster. I know I've previously expressed quite an affinity for Roototoot in the past, one of my all-time favorite fire elementals. And there's also 40% more in diamond packs this weekend in Dawn of Fire as well. And of course, it goes without saying that the Syncopite is now available to either buy on Starhenge or to collect via the successful moves along the star chart of the crystalline crop in the observatory on Starhenge. Speaking of crystalline crop, because it's the beginning of the month of May, I figured that I'd share with you some of the Celestial Fortune learnings for this month. These are also posted on our social media channels. But let's take a look at what your Celestial Fortune, if you were born in the month of May, you were born under crystalline crop. So what does it have to say? It says, you'll soon learn that like a diamond, you're even stronger than you think.
Wow.
Even precious stones can have scratches. Embrace your flaws.
Aww.
Crystals have many facets, just like your personality. Show them off. Great words of empowerment here for the beginning of May. And let us know in the chat if you were born during the month of May, and therefore the Syncopite is your patron celestial in the monster world, of course. Something else that we did on social media recently is that because we had so much success asking people what their names were for the Bone Island critter, the one that was internally sort of monikered the Aracuda, but we got lots of awesome other ones last week. We figured we'd also share some of our favorite entries for our Glubber Lagoon critter names. Ooh. So, Monster Handler Eric, do you have the list handy?
I sure do.
Okay, well, why don't we go back and forth and say some of our favorites? I'll start, and then we'll alternate. Okay, Jellywish. Oh, I love that one.
Blotterling.
Oh, I like that too. The Inky. Straqua.
Shellyfish.
Cute.
Like that one.
H2. Whoa! I feel like you like that one, Eric.
Oh, here's a good one. Frenticle.
Oh, I love that one too. How about Sir Inks-a-Lot?
Oh, that's my kind of name. I love that one. Oh, okay. This is a tricky one.
I didn't do this on purpose, Eric.
Glub glob glib glab.
Very nice. Finverta.
Ooh. And finally, Gilbert.
Oh, I love all of them. They're very clever. They represent the best of My Singing Monsters clever names, where it's an existing thing, but it's been sort of morphed in a certain way, or it's multiple references jammed together. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
I love any contribution from the community, and they're so good at letting us know their ideas and their creations and their questions on social media. Questions? Did I just say questions?
You did. We'll have to do it.
Must be time for quick questions.
Quick questions, in which you, the community, send in questions that you want me, Monster Handler Matt, to answer here on My Singing Monsters Live. And if you have a burning question for the Monster Handlers, you can send it to us on any of the social media channels that we happen to find ourselves on. It's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and make sure to include the hashtag MyStreamingMonsters to let us know that you'd like us to consider it for inclusion on an episode of My Singing Monsters Live. Monster Handler Eric, would you like to get started without much further ado?
Let's take it away. Starting right off the bat from MSM Pokegamer MPG, were all Colossals affected in the same way by the disruptive force that made the continent split? And tying into this, were Titans affected by the disruptive force?
a heavy question, a loaded question, MSM Poker Gamer. I can confirm that not all colossals were affected in the exact same way in the cataclysm that brought about the dissolution of the continent. Notably, I can think of some examples of obviously the natural colossals, if we want to call them that, actively imbuing their spirit into the splintering elemental lands in order to protect the monster populations that were on them, and falling into a deep slumber. There's also things like the colossal that somehow made its way to the pocket dimension of Ethereal Island. I don't know if that was involved in the same sort of act of sort of protection and self-sacrifice on the part of the colossals. And then there's also colossals like the colossal that Celestial Island itself is perched atop of, the remains, the detritus of, or detritus, I don't know, never know how to pronounce that, of Starhenge on Celestial Island, because that particular colossal looks like it's petrified, right? It looks like it almost has the same sort of it underwent the same sort of process as the Celestials did as they turned sort of into their dormant petrified forms and then later needed to be revived. So no, they were not all affected the exact same way. What sort of determined who was affected by what, we're not entirely sure. These are big cosmic questions. I can say, though, that the Titans were not affected by the disruptive force of the continental split, other than the fact that eventually they moved into the spaces occupied by the void of the outer islands, and the outer islands' disappearance happened around the same time of the continent splitting apart. But because the colossals are these important forces of creation in the monster world, and Titans just happen to be gargantuan entities or creatures, they have less responsibility, less accountability in the monster world, and so we're less affected by this event.
Wow, that was a great answer for a great question.
That was not a quick answer. That was a quick question.
No.
Not a quick answer. I'll try and go faster.
All right, this might be a little quicker from my singing monsters person. Do the magicals know that there are other types of magicals?
They certainly do now. I don't know if they knew that in isolation, but part of the interesting side effect of the delegations of natural and fire monsters coming and sort of helping to round out the populations of the magical islands is that they're able to share and impart the other things that they've learned and knowledge of the outside world, because the magical populations are quite self-contained to the islands that they belong on. They only appear on those islands. So certainly by the time Bone Island was discovered, the monsters had a record of psychic and fairy islands existing, so they could say, hey, all you bone elementals, did you know that your kindred spirits, other magicals, exist elsewhere in the monster world? And you know what the bone elementals said? They said, huh, you don't say. What a world. What a world. What a world. That's what they said.
Okay, I'm going to preface this next question by saying we are not Monster World lawyers, but Sousa wants to know, are the Fire Islands legally owned by Cana?
Legally owned. No one monster claims any sort of ownership over any of the islands. Certainly the Fire Islands, comprised of Fire Haven and Fire Oasis, are populated in great numbers by fire monsters and some natural monsters as well. But I wouldn't say that they're legally owned by Cana. Perhaps the reason that this question came up from a legal standpoint is the flag that Cana dropped on the sandbar upon which Fire Oasis was built. I think that was more of a show of solidarity, that here's our new home for fire monsters on the surface of the monster world. So no, they are not legally owned by Cana, but we might have to check in with our legal department. I think Bill has some experience there.
Yes, our lawyer.
If I'm not mistaken.
I know he's not an expert in the monster world. He's more of a human world lawyer. But we'll check.
That's correct. He doesn't really know monster law. A little bit of bird law in there though too.
Yes. Yeah. Next question comes from Ian Ickler, and they want to know, what is a group of mammoths called? And I know you'll know this. This is your expertise.
Yes, a collective noun. I love collective nouns. Did you know that a group of mammoths, I can officially unveil this, and you know what? It's the same collective noun for a group of pugs. Did you know that? It's a grumble of mammoths.
A grumble.
I
like that a lot.
Yes.
Super A Gaming 64 asks, could the Titans, Colossals, and Globbers,
I'm going to guess that's Glovers, yeah,
had forgotten how to sing when the continent became the 5 national islands?
the 5 natural islands, perhaps.
Yes.
Certainly, there was some sort of precipitating event that caused, at least from what we understand, that caused the Colossals to forget how to sing in harmony. I'm not sure what specifically caused them to forget how to sing together and how to sing cooperatively, but certainly this affected the Colossals. As previously mentioned, Titans like the Glubber and like the Gigacheep or Harvards or Sweaties or Stone Scribes, they were less affected by the continent breaking apart into the natural islands. Less affected.
Ooh, this next question sort of came up earlier during our pre-show. Yoshi Gamer 95 asked, do Gobblygords eat turkeys? Because they feed turkeys to the other monsters.
Well,
we've got news for you.
Yes, Gobblygords do eat the turkeys that come out of the bakery. And you know why? Because it is entirely a plant-based turkey substitute.
Aha.
Yes, never fear. There's no cannibalism in the monster world. And I know some people persist in saying sometimes that Wubbox has some unusual tendencies, but I can also remind everyone that the inside of the Wubbox is like an awesome playground, and the monsters are happy to chill in there indefinitely. So it's not as morbid an act as you think.
There we go.
So that's yes, plant-based turkey product.
SCW Productions 1 asks, where did the Colossals of Celestial and Composer Island come from? Oh, very good question.
Yes, an excellent question. I know that the Colossal of Composer Island is an interesting one because it, like certain other Colossals in the monster world, such as the Colossal of Sugarbush Island and the Colossal of Tribal Island, live in a sort of intermediate zone between the human world and the monster world called the Seam. We call it the Seam. And so I'm not sure if the Composer Island Colossal is one that had been sort of waiting in the wings all this time to finally have some sort of some sort of purpose or some calling, and then finally found that with its collaboration with the human world and in the development of Composer Island. But we do know that it is not per se one of the Colossals that was involved in rescuing certain parts of the broken apart continent. With respect to the Celestial Island Colossal, that is one of the enduring mysteries because it already, at least based on our videographical record, it already existed sort of waiting, ready-made for the remains of Starhenge to crash into and to incorporate into to become Celestial Island. So I'm not entirely sure, is this the fulfillment of an ancient prophecy? Would the other Colossals know? I'm not sure. They're all slumbering and very difficult to interview a Colossal. Sort of, it'd be like sort of trying to record an interview with an earthquake. It's just sort of a force of nature. It's a difficult thing to accomplish.
Gets a little shaky.
Yes.
Jay Shaw 69953872 asks, is there a shopkeeper for the market in My Singing Monsters?
Is there a shopkeeper for the market? No. The market operates on the honor system and on honesty and integrity, and there's very, very, very seldom, if never, any sort of issues with the proper payment being transacted at the market. The exchange of goods happens very cooperatively, very honestly. So no, there is no shopkeeper in the market for My Singing Monsters, nor is there one at the market in Dawn of Fire, which is sort of a separate structure, right, where different crafting items can be traded for coins.
Vitor G asks, will the Celestials of the original My Singing Monsters game grow?
Will they grow? Well, I believe it was 2018 that Celestial Island first joined the ranks of My Singing Monsters Islands. And remember that Celestials are sort of these enhanced cosmic beings that, yes, they are singing monsters, but they also seem to almost be as old or around the same age as the colossals. They're sort of part of the fabric of the monster world themselves. They were created a very, very long time ago, and they persist. They sort of have a life cycle like a phoenix in that they are reborn, and we don't know how many cycles that they've gone through. This could just be the beginning of one whole cycle. So if that's the case, you can imagine that the vast amount of time between the Celestials springing into being, them sort of becoming their petrified forms on Starhenge, crashing into and becoming Celestial Island. If that's the case, and they've got extraordinarily long lifespans, and it could be that they are in these youthful states for quite a while. I'm not sure if they will ever mature, if they will ever grow. That might be the dominion of Dawn of Fire, seeing them in their advanced sort of elder stately form, and in My Singing Monsters they'll stay youthful and exuberant.
Very cool. All right, we'll end off questions with this last one here from Dragoneer1234, and they ask, "What's your favorite thing about hosting the show?"
I think my favorite thing about hosting the show is quick questions, and I think the reason that quick questions is my favorite is because I'm always surprised and very pleasantly so and impressed by the amount of detail and inferences that the community makes. They collect all the information that we spew out, and they synthesize it, they harmonize it, they generate abstractions, they understand it in novel ways. It's very exciting, and then that's evidenced by the questions that we get on quick questions. It shows a lot of brain power, a lot of thinking, and I'm always very impressed by the resourcefulness, the creativity, and the mindfulness of the questions asked. That's my favorite part. Eric, do you have a favorite part?
Oh, this one's easy, Monster Handler Matt. My shirt.
That's your favorite part?
No, I'm just kidding, of course. My favorite part is the overall interaction with the community. I love being able to communicate to them. I love being able to ask questions on their behalf, try to stump you on their behalf. And I love that this amazing community, they make sure that this weekly show isn't just on Fridays. They're commenting throughout the week. They're giving us answers to questions we asked on social media. They're throwing social media questions at us to answer on the show. There's never a time when I can't go online and see the community reacting to the show, whether that's making a funny video out of maybe a slight goof we've made or sending in fan art ranging of all types. And it's incredible. I feel that we're so lucky to be able to interact with the community in this way, and it's so good because even if you're hosting or if you're on the chat or even if you're just throwing up graphics and you throw the odd little joke in there for people and they always really appreciate it, it's amazing. So thank you to you guys for making this show possible and letting us.
Yeah, you inspire our world of creativity. Now, the other thing that sometimes they inspire in me is a little bit of consternation, a little frustration, because I often get this next segment incorrect. That, of course, is a favorite segment here on My Singing Monsters Live, and that is, of course, the Stump of the Week. Stump of the Week. So, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to have another monster handler joining us.
I'm here.
For this. Oh, hello, Michael.
Don't worry, I'm here. I've been here the whole time, but now I'm physically a manifestation of myself is here.
Wow,
yes. Yes, I'm here to stump you.
Okay.
Now I'll have you know, this week I actually put in the winner Gagnon graphic. So
okay, thank you very much.
So maybe that'll be the turning point, but we'll have to see. And
all right,
today's question comes to us from Cubwax, and they say, which of the following words is not mentioned in the bio for Bone Island? And I want you both to answer this. Eric, you should be able to answer this because it's a multiple choice question. Okay, so which of these is not in the bio for Bone Island?
All right, I'm ready.
A, coaxing. B, eerie. C, vegetation, or D, lustrous?
I will correct your pronunciation of the first word, Michael. It's coaxing, not coaxing.
Coaxing.
Oh, I was gonna answer A because I thought there's no way coaxing is in the bio.
That's when you work together to chop something down. That's coaxing.
I always like coaxial, you know?
All right, so which of the words is not mentioned in the bio for Bone Island? Now, this is going to be particularly embarrassing for me if I don't get this correct, because we know that monster handler Sydney is the wordsmith behind the excellent monster handler bios for the monsters.
Yes.
But something that I have retained over the years is some input on the description of the islands
having input?
in My Singing Monsters. So, which of them is not in there? Coaxing, eerie, vegetation, or lustrous?
I want Eric's answer first.
I don't know.
I you know what? I'm gonna say that it's. I think it's B, eerie.
Eric, what do you want to say?
Not mentioned.
I'm split between two, and one of them was Monster Handler Maxwell. Go for the other one to double our chances. I'm gonna say D, lustrous.
One of you is correct, and that winner today is Matt. Congratulations. Eerie it is.
Yes. It's been so long since I've seen that glorious graphic down below. Winner again, y'all. Oh, just keep it on just a moment longer. Don't leave. Don't go.
It leaves.
Is it gone? Is it still there? No. All
says
right.
bye-bye.
Until next week.
That's very exciting. Until next week, when of course I will probably be stumped anew. But we don't have to wait until next week to see some of the awesome monster pieces that have been submitted by the community. So just like the quick questions, you can also send these in to us using My Streaming Monsters, the hashtag that appears along the bottom of the screen. But not for much longer, because we're going to take a look at some monster pieces. All right, Michael, why don't you introduce some of them to us today?
This one here is from Coolio Lio, I'm going to call it. Yeah. And
oh, what a sweet little hollow.
yes.
And here depicted some of the diverse head ornamentation that we know that hollows can have. Here's the red leaf, not the red berries that appear in game. Well, I mean, the red leaf also appeared briefly in game, and it was in there just long enough to inspire Coolio Leo to make this very sweet, very cute monster piece. I like the position of the hands. It looks very like a messenger. Yes, that's about to deliver some news meekly, rather tentatively.
Great job, Coolio Leo.
The next one here is from a Dweena 100, and it's a Fangler emerging from some water.
Maybe the living ocean.
Perhaps the living
Maybe the
ocean.
living
Yes.
ocean.
Ah.
You don't know
Even
that.
the living ocean. Or it could be a pool.
A bath.
A bath, a swimming pool.
Sure.
What we
A
do
deep
know is I love the line work in this monster piece. The fact that nothing is well, except for certain select things, but a lot of the surfaces of the monster are not fully colored in. It's sort of a suggestion of color by the line art that's used, and I love the lines as well emitting from the Fangler's Esca.
I think I see two interpretations right away. I'm interested in your fellows' inputs here. Is Fangler A coming up out of the water to sing a part, or B chasing its microphones, a la a dog chasing its tail?
I wouldn't be surprised. We know that some other fire monsters, namely Stog, have some distinctly canine behaviors. So maybe this is one that's shared with Fangler as well. Either way, a great monster piece.
Very well done.
This next one that we have coming up here is Bill's Pizza by Neptune 896288287.
It took a long time, but the order did go through.
This is incredible to me. He called us by accident, but the order still went through, and they got it wrong.
Yeah, that's the modern age. That's ad preferences. That's tracking, right? Like they knew that Bill wanted the pizza. Doesn't matter what number he called.
But they were just a little one variable off, apparently.
That's right.
But
Good
still,
old Bill.
excellent.
Poor guy. Didn't get it, but I hope Bill enjoyed the pizza at least.
This is making me want pizza.
Yeah, to be fair, maybe he's pleasantly surprised once he tries it. Maybe he goes, "This isn't what I ordered, but this is incredible. I'm glad I stumbled on to this recipe."
You never know. This next one is by Sea Serpents.
Ooh, oh, cute.
A little show here.
Clacula.
And Epic Punkleton.
What a dynamic duo.
A very dynamic duo. I love the fact that both of them, yes, are dressed to the nines, or at very least to the eights, because between Punkleton's ruff and top hat and fancy gloves and spats and the sort of naturally occurring little bow tie there of the Clacula, this is an awfully dapper duo.
I don't have a big enough screen to read into it entirely, but I think they might have even added the detail of Clacula's little teeth in the hand there, really getting a piece of that glove.
Yeah, really
Very
chomping
nice.
into Epic Punkleton there. It's a good thing that it's just bones there under the gloves, right?
That may explain Epic Punkleton's expression actually. Now that I reassess with that detail.
Yes, a little bit of sweat, a little bit of anxiety, perhaps.
That's
Don't
right.
squeeze too hard, Clacula. Ouch.
Up next, we have Sleepy Village's interpretation of some whimsies.
Oh, some very cute whimsies. What do we have there? We are float.
I think that is what it says. Let me enhance.
It's very cute. Sort of reminds me of a We Are Groot. Perhaps some sort of collective identity shared among these whimsies here.
I must say they really captured the difference between the cuter upper half of the whimsies and the much more monstrous.
Yes, distinctly monstrous hands tethering them to the soil of Fairy Island. Well done, Sleepy Village.
I think it either says we are float or we all float.
Careful now.
Up next, some Reedling. Just this very nice collage of monsters here from Plant Island.
What's your favorite? What are your boys' favorites?
I'm drawn to Mammoth right away, I must say. I love this interpretation of Mammoth.
Let me see.
I think I like Fwog. I like the different sort of shapes of the eyes peering at me.
I think I'm drawn to Shrub. I would really like to see this shrub extended.
Very cute.
Very good.
And next up, we have yours Ursa Charm. That's what I'm gonna say, and it's a Clacula, looking very bonelicious.
Now I wonder, in this particular Clacula there in the left clacker, is that clacker suffering from bad dental hygiene? Have its teeth fallen out?
I like to imagine it's mid-sneeze.
Just achoo.
Yeah.
I prefer that. I prefer that answer. I think Clacula is the kind to even if it has to sort of gently discipline its clackers every once in a while to take good care of them.
A lot of great detail.
Like a responsible parent, right?
Yes. What do we have next here? Diamond Swords has created this very cool Ghast drawing.
Wow.
I really like the cat eyes on it.
Yes, and a perfect episode to feature such a monster piece because we've got the breeding bonanza this weekend. So hopefully you can grab a Ghast of your own on Plant Island this weekend.
Maybe it'll be as mischievous as this one looks, or maybe curious.
Yes.
And another purple monster from May here. We have a Wither.
A beautiful Wither. Yes, puzzled. Very, very curious. Very curious.
You know what this reaction is to?
What?
It's to you getting a stumped question wrong. They're going,
yes,
ow.
Wither's flabbergasted. It's looking at its Lyrodicus Rex friend and going, can this be true? Can this be so? Well, best believe it, Wither.
Some excellent stylization here, I must say. Really love this one.
This next one, let me tell you, from Predo.
Oh.
Krovlaft. Was that okay, Matt?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Love this. Oh, very neat. Yes, because of course you can only see so much of the Titan in game, but there's a whole other aspect to it. If this is understood to be just the head of the monster, it must have other body parts like these tentacles and even more eyes. Can you believe it? I think Krovlaft clocks. Oh, sorry, Krovlaft.
Thank you.
Clocks in at having some of the most eyes, if you of course count the critters that encircle the island of any island in My Singing Monsters. But here, Predo has added even more. Definitely hit the nail on the head in terms of the influence that we were using for Krovlaft, which is right there in its name.
I don't use these words often, but I describe this as perfectly horrifying.
Yes.
Do you know what it kind of reminds me of?
What?
A little bit like mulch.
It does have sort of a mulchian quality to it.
Yes.
Maybe he likes to get down and funky.
I think it's safe to say that Krovlaft loves to get funky.
Well, that was our last monster piece.
Well, actually, Michael, don't be so hasty. Correct me if I'm wrong. There is one more special monster piece that you'd like to share with the community,
yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
So some eagle-eyed viewers of last week's episode, you see, with us doing this work from home setup, it's a bit different, and something flashed upon the screen for half a second, and some eagle-eyed viewers caught it. And what that was actually my desktop background, which I think it's fair enough that you saw a little piece of it, so why not show you it all? This was taken from a Christmas party, what was it, 2 years ago, I think, for the office.
I think so.
It features two of your favorite monster handlers at the photo booth. It was a Vegas-themed Christmas party, and we just look very spiffy, very stuffy.
You know what? You guys are giving Epic Puggleton and Clacula a run for their money there.
Yeah, that's where the opening act.
In terms of how dapper you are, yes. Perhaps you can all go on tour together.
Yes. So there, you saw a little piece of it. Now you can see the whole thing.
Well, what a wonderful thing to share. Thank you, Monster Handler Michael. What a wonderful thing. Well, that concludes Monsterpieces, but of course...
Another wonderful thing coming up.
Yes. The episode is not over yet because, of course, we need to announce the winner of our giveaway. And Monster Handler Sydney has plucked at random a name from those who successfully submitted using ! Giveaway. And the winner of today's giveaway is going to either win, it's their choice, it's player's choice, of whether they'd like to receive a Syncopite in Dawn of Fire on Starhenge, or a revived Syncopite in My Singing Monsters on Celestial Island. You will let us know when you send us either your BBB ID/friend code from Dawn of Fire or My Singing Monsters. And who am I referring to? Monster Handler Eric, could I please get a drum roll? The winner of episode 77's giveaway of My Singing Monsters Live is Sam Patty. Congratulations, Sam Patty. So please, as I said, write in the chat your BBB ID/friend code and let us know. You'll I suppose let us know by the friend code that you post, but it's your choice of a Syncopite in either Dawn of Fire or My Singing Monsters. That's just about our show for this week, episode 77, another palindromous episode of My Singing Monsters Live. You know me, I love the numbers. And this week, we've got an excellent composer piece to share with you. Certainly on topic, certainly relevant. Why here, why now? Well, it's because this is an awesome Celestial Island cover 2 submitted by user Plump Dog. Great username, Plump Dog. One of the best kinds of dogs, I'd say, a plump dog.
Agreed.
Here's Celestial Island cover 2. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks again, Eric.
Well, thank you, Mark.
And Michael, wherever he disappeared back into the ether, perhaps, or is he still there? I don't know. But please enjoy this composer piece. We'll see you next week at the same time for episode 78 of My Singing Monsters Live. Enjoy the Celestial Island cover from Plump Dog, and until next time, happy monstering!